All right, we're here today with Kevin Lull, commercial lender, and we're going to talk to him a little bit about business planning, the importance of a business plan, and have him answer a few questions that'll help you when you're taking a business plan in and meeting with a banker. Kevin, appreciate you being here today.
Oh, thank you very much.
To start out with, if I am coming into you asking about a business loan, what is your typical response to me, and then what kind of questions should I be expecting from you?
Well, you know, a commercial lender is always happy to help out a new business. Very excited. I mean, that's why we got into this business. You know, first things first, you know, we want to learn more about the project that you are working on. You know, probably to get started, you know, a few basic questions like, okay, what are you going to do? What's your goal?
All right, so as you start asking about some of those financial details, what kind of information, what kind of documentation should I have ready as a potential borrower when I come and visit you?
Well, I think a business plan is great to have because it provides just a clear idea of what you want to do, and it allows the banker to review everything and really have a good idea of how you want to move forward and what your idea for success is. And, you know, along with that, you know, there's going to be a lot of information within that business plan that will really help us as well. Other documents, of course, you know, financial statements as well as tax returns.
Okay, so that's all information about the business. I assume there's some personal information that you're probably going to need to know about my financial history when I come speak to you.
Of course, we always love to know the person behind the business. That's very important. And so, of course, personal tax returns, personal financial statements are key as well.
Okay. In the actual business plan, we've talked about the finances now. What about the business are you looking for as you read through someone's business plan?
Sure. You know, we want to be sure that this person has a clear understanding of how this business will operate. Okay. How is this business going to generate enough money to repay the debt?
Okay. What do you look for most closely then in a business plan's financial projections as someone's looking a year or 2 years out and projecting what kind of sales, what type of expenses a business is going to have? What's important for you in those numbers?
Well, it's important that the numbers are realistic and achievable. You know, I find that sometimes it's difficult for for a small business to project the income, especially if it's a new business. So we would like to see, you know, cash flow that is sufficient enough to repay the loan, and it's realistic and very achievable.
Where do people go for this kind of information? I'm assuming some people talk to other businesses. Mm-hmm. There's probably other research that they can do. What's typical? What do you see from folks?
Well, I think it's always beneficial to get the advice from an existing business. I know sometimes people can be a little bit timid to ask what could be a possible competitor. It's a great source of information to see how people succeeded and also maybe some of the pitfalls that they experienced when they were starting up this business of their own.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if I as a potential borrower have come in, we've talked a little bit about the business plan, we've taken a look at some of this documentation, some of the financial numbers, everything. What is the ongoing process? Obviously this isn't going to happen in a single meeting. There's going to be some type of relationship that will form. Talk a little bit about that and talk about the ongoing communication for both sides in this process.
The internal credit application process that a bank has to go through in order to approve a loan, you know, takes a while. And so when we get a business plan and as well as all of the supporting financial information, we will go through it, and, you know, odds are we will have some more questions. So don't be surprised if we follow up with you and ask for maybe some additional information or, you know, some clarification behind the numbers and how you reached that information. That's all perfectly normal. So don't be scared if we call you back with more questions. And, you know, once the loan is booked, that does not mean that the relationship ends. You know, we always want to follow up and find out how you're doing. So maybe receiving annual financial statements is something that will be required by the loan documents as well.
Okay, and in this initial process, obviously, as you request additional information, you're learning not only about the potential borrower and about their business. What do you use that for? There are some decisions that you make as a banker. Collateral plays into that. A person's personal financial and business financial history.
Sure.
Talk a little bit about how you make those determinations.
It's really about the big picture. Does the business generate enough cash flow to repay the loan? Let's say there's a lean month and the borrower might have to put some funds into the business. That's where the personal stuff comes through. Collateral, what are we securing the loan with? Obviously, it needs to be something of greater value to the loan. So if anything were to happen, worst case scenario, the bank would be able to settle the debt that is outstanding. So, all of these kind of pool together and go into our internal credit application process, and will ultimately determine whether or not a loan is appropriate at this time.
Okay. So getting a little more technical, what type of ratios, metrics are you looking at then in someone's business plan and their financial projections? What's really important for you as you look at the numbers?
Well, obviously it's going to vary from bank to bank, but on a cash flow basis, we would like to see something of a 1.25 debt service coverage ratio. So in other words, it means that you would have $1.25 to repay every dollar of debt. And so we like to see at that level and, of course, above. On the collateral side, it's going to vary depending on the type of loan. This day and age, we'd probably ask for something between 70 to 75% loan to value, depending on the product that we are securing it with. So,
all right. Well, Kevin, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you very much, Daryn. I appreciate it.